If you spend money on boring stuff like food for your kids or somewhere to live, it might feel hard to join the American V8 community.
Let me in. Let me in.
I will start off by reminding anyone on a lower budget that you can live in a car, but you can't race a house, so maybe you could put those mortgage or rent funds over to your car jar. But in this video, I'll tell you the top 10 modern American muscle cars you can get your hands on for under 10 grand. It should first be noted that all but 2 of the cars on the list are from 2000 or newer, and the other ones are from the 90s because I felt like they really just matched up well. Also, I put the ones I like more towards the end, except for the first one, which is the almighty Crown Vic. Some of you might say,
You blithering idiot.
because yes, the Vic only has 240 horsepower and has a poo 0 to 60. But these are becoming cars that are just fun to own. With a little work, they can look pretty damn good, but if you want something to mercilessly beat on, it works for that too. I've seen a lot of fairly clean retired police ones for sale for 2 grand or less, but you'd have to keep in mind how hard those have been driven. Next up is the Ford Thunderbird. I don't think they're aggressive looking enough, but they could be perfect for anyone who wants a little more class. They came with 40 more horsepower than the Vics and weighed about 300 pounds less, so their 0 to 60 is about a second faster, but you still won't be putting car lengths on too many people. Now, maybe you're someone who falls asleep whispering Mopar or no car over and over again. No, I didn't forget about you. The next car is the Chrysler 300C. They've got a heftier amount of horsepower at 340 and 390 torque, but they weigh in around that 4,000 pound mark. With all that, they do still manage a mid 5-second 0 to 60, so they're really not too sluggish for this list. For number 4, we've got the Monte Carlo SS.
What's the S stand for?
On my world, it means suck.
This may be true for the 2000 to 2005s because they don't have a V8 and I'm not big on those looks, but the 06 and 07s are not bad. Their 300 horsepower 5.3 liter V8s are pretty good for the 3,500 pounds. They're a little hard to find, but if you can find one, it should be for 10K or less and it would be a great car. Number 5 is the C4 Corvette. They made these between 83 and 96, but they're the newest Vette you can easily find for under 10 grand. They came with 300 horsepower and 330 torque, which isn't bad for the list, but the ones before 92 had 250 or less, which is pretty weak. Either way, if you're trying to own a Vette at some point in your life and you don't have too much cash right now, these are a great option. The next car on the list is the only other one made before 2000, and it's the 87 to 93 Fox Body Stangs. They came with 5-liter V8s making about 225 horsepower. One of my buddies has one, and I can tell you firsthand they sound great even with the OEM exhaust. So if you started taking some stuff off, if you know what I mean, I'd bet they could blow out some eardrums. Given that most of them weigh around 3,200 pounds, they're also pretty light and fun to throw around. Number 7 is the 06 to 14 Dodge Charger RT. In 09, they were getting 370 horsepower out of these bad boys, and before that, they had the same 340 as the 300C. In 2010, they gained 200 pounds, weighing 4,200, but 0 to 60s went down from a 5.6 to a 5.2. I've heard some that sound absolutely brutal, and if you manage to find a burnt orange Daytona one,
nice.
Next up is another Mustang, but it's the 99 to 04 New Edges. These 2-valve 4.6s push 260 ponies to the rear wheels to get to 60 in mid 5 seconds. These are another car on the list that I know for a fact can sound really mean. If you start one of these at a car meet with any exhaust mods, people will hear that you're about to leave. I'll admit, I used to wonder why anybody would buy these over an S197 because it doesn't really have the same look, but I've grown to really like the New Edges, and I think with a little love, any of them can look fantastic. Honorable mentions for this list are the S197 Mustang GTs, C5 Corvettes, and 04 to 06 GTOs. I didn't add these normally to the list because it's harder to find them worth buying for under 10 grand. But if you're lucky and look hard enough, you could probably steal one with that budget. Out of the 3, the C5 is the quickest with a 4.5 0 to 60, really closely followed by the GTO, and then the Mustang with a 5.2. The GTOs to me have a similar exhaust style to the New Edge Mustangs, and I'd say typically sound the best. Any of these 3 in good condition would really be a steal for under 10K, and choosing would all be up to preference. Let me know in the comments if you own any of these or which one you would choose. As always, if you enjoyed this video, punch that like button so I can pay my rent. Liking this video actually doesn't provide any direct financial benefit to me, however, it's pretty cool and might give you a warm, wholesome feeling. Also, make sure to subscribe to Liberty Drives for American auto news, as well as my take on the good, the bad, and the funny parts of being a car enthusiast. Thank you very much for watching. I genuinely appreciate it. Have a great day.